story. Alright, so what's going on, y'all? So, this will be my first time doing a whole little vlog. I'm going to tell you guys a story about my childhood for a little bit. So, we're going to kick this back into high school from when it was pretty good. It was definitely pretty good. Shout out to all the charter members that may watch this. It was pretty good for me and stuff like that. But we're going to kick it back to at least about, I'd say somewhere around like 10th grade that this happened. So I'm going to tell you guys about the time that I decided that I was going to walk to school. So around this time in high school, I'm living with my dad. Things are going pretty steadily for a 10th grader. And it was one of those moments where, you know, it's not too shabby, but it could be better and stuff like that. Now, for a lot of part of my life, try saying that one again. For a long time in my life, I was a procrastinator. In some sense, I am, but I have greatly matured and improved upon my procrastination. I know exactly what to procrastinate on and a lot of things that I should not. I'm a lot better with my time management than compared to how I was back then. So around this time, I'm living with my dad, and it gets to a point where, you know, me procrastinating, me, you know, staying up late, trying to stay up all day and sleep all night on the weekends, and then, you know, staying up playing my PS3 and stuff, and it's just like, you know, it's getting old. So out of 1,000 of million of talks that me and my dad had, it comes up to this one where it's just like, you know, don't miss the school bus again. Now, out of all the times where I have heard that, or at least some kind of extent of that, where I need to stop missing this ride, I need to stop, you know, doing what I'm doing before I have to go to sleep, and I know I have to go to sleep and everything like that. So this particular time, it's just everything set in for me. You know, my dad's mass was just, I'm looking at the definition in my dad's arms, and it's just like, yo, that's that one punch that's gonna kill me. So you know, and my dad used to work out. My dad used to play Westinghouse football and all the way up to semi-pro and stuff like that. So it's around this time where I start to notice my dad's definition, and I'm just like, you know, I'm intimidated by him. You know, but my dad was never an abusive father. You know, I can literally count on my fingers how many times my dad has disciplined me, and it's all been for the better. I've learned my lesson and stuff like that. My dad has never been, you know, the kind of parent that just, you know, just straight up put his hands on you. My dad has always been, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the problem, identify it, find a solution, and let's actually start doing it. So on this particular instance, he was just like, you know, don't miss the school bus again. And in my head, I'm thinking like, oh my God, something's going to happen if I miss it again. Like it's going down if I miss it again, and I don't want it to go down again. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna iron my stuff. I'm gonna eat 5 hours before I have to go to sleep. I'm gonna make sure that all my homework is packed, ready to go, and plus it's by the door, so that way it's all ready to go. Go to sleep, wake up, shower. Now, maybe I took too long in the shower, but when I leave my house, I leave 10 minutes earlier than what I usually leave for to make my school bus. The times that I make it and stuff on time, I left 10 minutes before that. Get down all the way to the bottom of this hill, and crossing guard tells me, oh, hun, you just missed her. I'm just like, what do you mean I just missed her? And it's just like, yeah, she must have came early on this one. So I'm just like, what do you mean that, you know, she must have came early on this one? What does that even mean? So I'm just like, screw that. How am I going to get to school? Screw that. How am I going to tell my old man about this? You know, I don't want to go home and face the music on this. He said specifically, don't miss the school bus. And what do? I miss the school bus. So what happens now? So I decide, you know what? I could walk it. Yeah, because 2 legs would definitely outbeat 8 wheels, James, for sure. It's foolproof. If If I get to the 3 stops ahead of my stop, I'll be there. I'll meet her there. It's foolproof. Let's go. Plus, I just missed her. Let's do this. I don't want to go home and see what, hear another lecture from my dad or see what punishments happen or whatever would have happened if I went home. No, he said don't miss it. He's not going to know if I missed it if I still get to school. So, I decide I'm going to walk. Now, during this time, I go back up the hill that leads to my house. I walk past my house with the stealthness, or what I thought was stealthness. So, going down this winding road, I end up on this hill and I go down the hill, going down this winding road leading to Washington Boulevard. Shout out to all the people who live in Pittsburgh who know what I'm talking about. However, I'm not going that way. I am going the back street way to get there. So, hella lot of walking. And I'm walking. And I'm walking. And I'm walking. This is about 25 minutes of just pure walking. So, then I'm just like, you know what? It might be beneficial just to go back home. Just to take the L, stuff like that. But I look at the time and I'm just like, you know what? For as long as I've been walking, my old man definitely would say, okay, so I get that you missed the bus, but what have you been doing for that time that you missed the bus? Like, why are you just coming back home now? So I'm just like, you know what? Bad idea. Let's just keep on walking, just keep on pumping and everything. Just I'll have a Charlie horse, but at least I got to school. So I'm walking still. And eventually I see this car pull over and this lady's in there and she's just like, excuse me, hun, do you need a ride? Now, immediately, stranger danger. No if, ands, or buts about it. I do not condone this behavior. As I said before, worst mistake in my life. Definitely, if you are taking classes, if you are going to school, if you are doing anything that the place where you're going is not just a simple walking distance, do not walk. Especially if you are in elementary, middle, or grade school. Don't do it. Please don't. This lady's just like, do you need a ride or something like that? I was just like, no, I'm fine. You're not going to get anything out of me. I'm not going to end up like one of those people on the back of a milk crate. Not to make fun of the people that ended up on the back of a milk crate that were missing. I'm not making a joke out of it. I'm just saying that, I was aware of what was going on. So, I'm just like, not today. No, I'm fine. So, this lady slowly follows me with her car, just coasting, and just kept asking me, do I need a ride? Am I going to school, this, that, and the other. She would just drop me off. That's it. She knows that, it looks weird. It looks like stranger danger. She thinks the fact that my parents raised me right. Boom, this, that, and the other. But she's just like, hun, I've dropped my kids off at school, seen you walking. And then I'm on my way to work, and I'm still seeing you walk. All I'm saying is just that, if you're trying to get to school, eventually there is no sidewalk leading down. So how are you gonna, and after about a good 6 minutes, to in which 25-minute walk, 6 minutes of, talking, and she's slowing down my pace of how fast I'm walking to get to school because of this conversation. So, I gotta get to school. I have to get to school. Come to find out, if I would have kept walking, I would have been at least 20 minutes late, maybe more, but definitely about 20 minutes late. So, on the way there, tries to ask for my name. I don't give her no information. She's cool with that. She gets the awkward situation that this is. That's not the problem that we're facing. So, drops me off. She's just like, hey, do you need any money or anything like that? I was just like, no, forget that you see me. It's over. You know what I mean? Just let it go. So, I go inside. For about 2 hours in the school, I was having a pretty good day. Then I get called down to the office. The school administrator, or one of the school administrators, Mr. Lockley, and if he ever checks out this video, definitely thank you for doing this in the long run. Thank you. He calls me down to the office, and I was in tight with my principal, the school administrators. When I would eat lunch with them because it keeps me out of trouble. So there's a method to the madness. So he's just like, how did you get to school? And don't say the school bus, because that Ben showed up. So how did you get to school? So I'm just like, I got a ride. He's just like, from who? And everything. I was just like, my uncle. He's just like, okay, so let's try this again. And let's not act like as though I'm a complete idiot. Do you know that woman that you got out the car of? And I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm caught. I'm just like, no, I didn't. He's just like, he goes off just like how any concerning adult would about a child under their supervision, or a child that's supposed to be under their supervision. So he's just like, he goes off. You don't know her, this, that, and the other. You just get into a stranger's car. So he's just like, doing a parent-teacher conference tonight. Surprise parent-teacher conference tonight. I'm going to have a talk with your dad. And I'm just like, that's not a good thing, because I decided I was going to walk instead of facing the music. And I was just like, when he hears this, no amount of Folgers is going to undo this. This is not a good thing. So I continue throughout my day. Dad comes down, parent-teacher conference. It was a pretty good parent-teacher conference. Showing up on time to classes, getting my work turned in. Need to work on my storytelling, such as this video right here. However, it's a pretty good quarter for James McKelvey as far as academics go. So we're walking out. My dad's just like, hey, proud of you, this, that, and the other. Rubs my hair, stuff like that. That a boy and stuff. I'm just like, yo, if we can just make it to the car, I am home free. Forgetting the fact that they could just call my dad, but I'm home free if we make it to the car. The receptionist stops us. She's like, Mr. McKelvey, if you could just wait for a second. She calls Mr. Lockley. He comes down, tells my dad what's going on. Now, you just heard a very good academic report. However, you just heard your child decide to walk to school, then went halfway and caught a ride from a stranger. When I tell y'all, the most awkward and longest ride home in my life. You talk about punishment. I had to earn this man's trust and respect back the hard way. Dishes were not enough. Not enough at all. So, we get home. My dad's just like, I want you to go upstairs. Here's 2 trash bags. Go upstairs, pack your stuff, and get out. I am boo-hooing all the way up the steps. I get maybe half my underwear in with like tears and snot on there as well. Like dirty, but I mean clean, by the way. So, but they're dirty with the tears and snot now. So, he stops me midway. And he's just like, if you ever do something like that again. Basically telling me I can get the hell out if I ever do that ever again. So, yeah, hella punishment. Had to earn his love and respect back the hard. Do not walk to school in stranger danger. Alright guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely come back for more. And you've been watching Savagery at its finest.